Not that long ago, a spark fell from the hand of God and landed in the lake of my heart up on that mountainside. It's the light of love, and it shines a brilliant golden rod, giving off a light that is shaped like the stars in a summer sky. And it makes me high, my little lady. It's covered with a cloth that was woven from the hand of a virgin queen, living in a castle fair up on that heart-shaped lake. The cloth is gold and red, and it shines an iridescent sheen. Its beauty is unmatched but by the wonder of her face. And she's got your face, my little lady. And on that summer night, when the wind was blowing warmly and the moon shone bright, when you reached for me back when the world was new, and my heart, it came to tell me I love you. Just the other day, I was walking on Wasatch Boulevard, high enough to see the mountain range out across the lake. And there I saw your face, and that's when it really hit me hard. The jewel that I carry in my heart is just like a summer day. You're that summer day. I've written it up, I've written it down, I've written it off, and I got no doubt that the jewel let it shine for you. And here we are today, still swooning from the light of love, shining from the jewel in my heart there like the summer dew. It's the summer dew, my little lady. And on that summer night, when the wind was blowing warmly and the moon shone bright, when you reached for me back when the world was new, and my heart, it came to tell me I love you. The jewel in my heart is nothing more than love's clear joy, shining through the veil of the endless boundaries in my soul. It's what I have to give to sing to you this joy-filled noise, shining from the jewel in my heart there, trying to make me whole. You're gonna make me whole, my little lady. And on that summer night, when the wind was blowing warmly and the moon shone bright, when you reached for me back when the world was new, and my heart, it came to tell me I love you. Hey, thank you, everybody. Welcome to the Brewin Bistro. Nice to have you out. My name's Mark Neihart. That was my song called Jewel of My Heart. I guess I should have named it Jewel of Neihart, right? Get it? See what I did there? All right, hey, show number 35. We've been doing this for a long time. This is the first show of 2016. That's pretty cool. You know, I've been waiting for this for a while. I know some of you have out there. We got a great show with some fiddle and accordion action and some other stuff for you. We've got our featured act is Bronwyn Beecher, and that's the fiddle and accordion, right? That's going to be sweet. And though he's hardly an emerging artist, but we'll just call him that for the sake of the context of the show, we have Bill McGinnis here, and that's going to be a big deal. So, can we? Is anybody out there? Is that Bill McGinnis is here? Come on, I can't really. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, good music coming up. Hey, I want to say a little bit about the Intermountain Acoustic Music Association. We certainly wouldn't be here without that organization behind us, and just want to say a big thanks to the IAMA. And please visit them on the web at iamaweb.org and sign up and support local acoustic music here in the region. All right, so every month IAMA, the Intermountain Acoustic Music Association, puts on a great local concert series. And it's on the third Friday of each month is first. It's the first Friday of each month. I knew that somebody would know that. And for our bistro on the Town Clip, this is called the Bistro on the Town Clip.
I'm Mary Danzig, and I'm here teaching Jamming 101. Well, jamming is when you get together with people and you play music, and there are a lot of people who want to learn to do that, but they feel really intimidated getting started. So we thought IAMA could host a Jamming 101 class where people could come who had learned a few basic chords but didn't feel very confident about their skills, and just come and experience it a little bit without it feeling really intimidating. Well, one of the things that we love so much about the folk tradition is that it's music that's meant for people to make. They don't have to spend their whole life becoming a professional musician before they can be part of it. And we really felt like there were a lot of people out there who love music and would love a chance to play, but just feel a little bit nervous getting started. And so we wanted to help start a place where people could start to play their instruments out together.
What you're going to do, open A, then you're going to play B, and then you're going to play the third finger up here. So go ahead and try that out on the fiddle and mandolins.
That's the wonderful thing about a jam, is that traditionally it was a way that people got together and they made music, and some people had a lot of experience and some people were just starting out, but it's a casual sort of environment where people help each other. The more experienced people give tips to the people who aren't as experienced, and you all learn and grow and make music together. You do not have to be at any sort of level at all before you start doing this. If you know the names of a few notes, or if you know a couple chords, you can come and you can grab a lot of what we're doing, and then as you get more advanced, you can add more notes in, but you don't need to be very advanced to get started. Jamming 101 is held the first Friday of every month at South Valley Unitarian from October through May. And 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and then the concert starts at 7:30.
Welcome back to the Bistro. Did you enjoy that clip? Yeah. All right, anyway, that's from the IAMA, and remember their local concert series is on the first Friday of every month. And you can visit iamaweb.org for more details. And right now on the show is another fabulous Utah musician. His name's Bill McGinnis. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Mark.
How are you? Do you go by Bill or by William or both, or what's your preference?
Bill works best. William is so formal.
It is pretty formal.
Yeah. Although, I was always impressed with Will I Am, because I was like, that dude did something with that name. It's like he took a name and turned it into
cool.
a pop icon. I am so impressed with that.
Well, impress us with your music. We'll come back and talk after you do your set. And everybody, this is Bill McGinnis.
Thank you very much. Let's see how this goes. She's a wisp of smoke on a windy autumn day, colored leaves that fall and drift away. She may be gone tomorrow, she's here today. She's the mist that rises on a river running wild. Give her wings, she's Mother Nature's child. She may be gone tomorrow, but she's here today. You could try to make a way to stop time and make her stay. What a foolish thing to do. It's gonna hurt like hell, I know, when you have to let her go. But she's got dreams waiting to come true. She's the sweet, sweet smell of a gentle summer rain. The setting sun, it puts the sky aflame. She may be gone tomorrow, but she's here today. She may be gone tomorrow, but she's here today. She's here today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's that camera down there. So wasn't it a beautiful, sunny, clear sky in Salt Lake City today? And was it last year or 2 years ago that UCARE had the big rally at the State House for clean air? And it was a day just like this. And I played this next song for the first time up at Showcase in Sundance that day. And I just thought, you know, it figures. The first day you want to sing an environmental song about dirty air would be a crystal clear day in Salt Lake City, so everybody could look at you and say, what are you talking about? But anyhow, you know, a day will come, and I remember being down here about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't have to go out to dinner because I could just eat the air. It was so flavorful. So this is just a question, not a statement. Well, the temperature is rising, scientists are analyzing. Them truckers rolling coal don't seem to care. Politicians theorize who's telling truth, who's telling lies. Could it be something we're putting in the air? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Is what's going on down here because of what's up there? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Now the ocean's rising higher and the forests are on fire. Farmers' fields, well, they're laying brown and bare. Watch the smog as it gets thicker while our children just get sicker. Could it be something we're putting in the air? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Is what's going on down here because of what's up there? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Well, there's lots of oil to be found if we just keep drilling down. Watch them profits flow to Exxon and Sinclair. Are we running out of hope while we just keep blowing smoke? Do you think this planet even has a prayer? We put machines out to the stars, but we can't clean up our cars, driving down that road to ruin and despair. Well, it's an inconvenient truth, still some people need some proof. Could it be just what we're putting in the air? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Could it be something we're putting in the air? what's going on down here because of what's up there? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Could it be something we're putting in the air? There'll be no one to shed a tear once we've killed the atmosphere with all that stuff that we've been putting in the air. Could it be something we're putting in the air? Could it be something we're putting in the air? Thank you. Thank you. So, one of my good friends from the song school at Lions is Ellis Delaney, and I've always been impressed with Ellis in concert because there's nobody that I know of who is more entertaining when retuning a guitar. She's just amazing. She cracks the worst jokes, and and does that laugh like that. How does she do that? I don't know how Ellis can do that. Anyhow, so I always aspire to be like Ellis when I'm retuning a guitar, but I doubt I ever will be. So, stuff we're putting in the air. Any of you listen to Radio West at all this week? Did you hear the woman who was on yesterday? And she was talking about the downwinders, which is just a fascinating bit of Utah history that, you know, unless people bring it up, it never will come up. And I always like to think about the issue of the downwinders as sort of the West's answer to triangle trade. They dug it up in Utah and Moab, and then they sent it to Hennifer in Washington State to get processed into plutonium, and then they sent it down to Frenchman's Flat above Las Vegas, and then they dropped the bombs and blew them up, and then the fallout drifted back over Utah again. So it made a nice triangle. And unfortunately, it was a big experiment that was done and foisted upon the people of Utah. I thought it was kind of cute. The people from the AEC would go around southern Utah, the little towns, and they'd give people a nice pair of souvenir sunglasses and this little button to put on. And they'd say, hey, tomorrow there's going to be a big show. Come outside, watch it. You'll see the flash. Put the glasses on so you don't go blind. Put this button on, and we'll be around the day after to collect it. And they were collecting radiation buttons that could tell how much radiation people had gathered. And ranchers lost their flocks, their sheep flocks and their cow herds, and the whole thing was just a huge experiment. And as I say, if we don't talk about it, people won't. So, lady was on. Check that out. You can go back and find it on NPR or on KUER's website and give it a listen. The lady had a lot of really good facts, and I wish I could remember her name. But I was driving with my daughter down to a Lindsey Sterling book signing, and we were talking about all sorts of other things. There we go. Do you ever start with your fingers in the wrong place? Gosh. Flash light in the barren desert, hot, dry windows cross the hills, bringing unknown evil, carrying untold ills, unleashing power, unimagined, unseen forces take control. Dust clouds fill the western sky, darkness fills my soul. Couldn't tell where I was standing or that I was taken in. me that I was standing downwind. I'm just a downwinder, wondering why the people I trusted kept telling me lies. They led me to suffer, and they left me here to cry. I'm just a downwinder, left here to die. Always tired and always thirsty, don't know what's become of me. Went to see the doctor, told him about my history. I grew up in the state of Utah, canyons deep and mountains high. Couldn't see trouble coming from that clear blue sky. The doctor said I had a cancer, told me I was near the end. But the one thing that he never said was, son, you'd been standing downwind. I'm just a downwinder, wondering why people I trusted were telling me lies. They led me to suffer, and they left me here to cry. I'm just a downwinder, wondering why. No one can know where the winds will blow, that's just the kings of destiny. Dark secrets kept soon swept into the sands of history. Well, truth denied, classified international insecurity. Open up your eyes and realize we're one big nuclear family. We're all just downwinders, wondering why leaders we trust in keep telling us lies. They'll lead us to suffer, and they'll hang us out to dry. We're all just downwinders, left here to die. Flash of light in the barren desert, hot dry wind blows across the hills. Thank you. Thank you. Such a cheery little song, isn't it? So we'll go to a sort of a love song now. We'll take it into a. Oh, here we go. Fun and games. When I was it 4 years ago now? Yeah, 4.5 years ago, I had my beginner's luck and got into the Millsaps competition with this song that I'm about to play. And in between this song and the one where I had to retune, I snapped my high E string. It was terrible. It's like, it was the first time I was on a stage like that, in front of an audience like that. And it's like, it's a competition. And I'm like, and I was like, did I bring extra strings? Can I play this song without a? Nah. And then Jill Jack I think Jill's from Detroit. she ran up and gave me her J45 to play the song with. It was the first time I ever played a Gibson. And I was, smitten. And 4 years later, I found one of my own. I'm so excited. But this is a love song to my little girl. And it's a little bit of a fiction, because it hasn't happened yet. She's only 12, so it hasn't. But every time we'd walk somewhere, she'd say, "Daddy, here's that hand you love to hold." And I'd ask her, "Where's that hand I love to hold?" So, like Paul Simon would say, never let the truth stand in the way of a good song. And it was a damn good hook, so I went for it. And this is that song that came from it. Thank you all so much for listening tonight and hanging out. This has been a blast. A little short, but what the heck? Memory on the mantle, your picture on the wall. You grew into a woman in that room just up the hall. I always knew the day would come when I'd have to let you go. Still I reach out to touch you, and I'll always want to know, where's that hand I love to hold? Did you grow up while I grew old? Red hair, freckles, and a toothless grin, a great big hug when I tuck you in. Now you'll wear a band of gold on that hand I love to hold. Wasn't it just yesterday I held you in my arms? My little girl in a crazy world, I could keep you safe from harm. Now the future pulls us forward like a moth drawn to a flame. Everything's so different, but my question's still the same. Where's that hand I love to hold? Did you grow up while I grew old? Red hair, freckles, and a toothless grin, a great big hug when I dug you in. Now you'll wear a band of gold on that hand I love to hold. Church bells ring, a wedding song for you. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. You're gone from playing dress up to wearing a wedding dress. I cried that night that he proposed, now I'm ready to confess. There's so much I've left to tell you, but the words they come too slow. Now it's time to walk that aisle, so I'll ask before we go, where's that hand I love to hold? Did you grow up while I grew old? Red hair, freckles, and a toothless grin, a great big hug when I tuck you in. Now you'll wear a band of gold on that hand I love to hold. Where's that hand I love to hold? Did you grow up while I grew old? Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Bill McGinnis. Wow. That's some solid songwriting.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. That was really good. That last song almost made me cry. Jeez.
Oh my God, you?
I know, right?
Jeez.
Been known to shed a tear.
I know, it happens.
So, tell us about yourself, Bill. You got your local. You're from Jersey.
I'm all over the place. But for the last 23 years, I've been from here in Utah.
Awesome. Very good.
I came here from the great state of Vermont. And in deference to you, I didn't wear my Bernie shirt tonight.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I had to quit Facebook.
I know. I've started to become selective about it. It was like, it's no fun arguing with the people I like. This is ridiculous.
Hey, so what? You're a kind of a key figure in the songwriting community in Utah.
I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
Well, and so give us a little bit of rundown on the.
It's a great story. Tom Prasada Rao was coming through last August. Well, I will back that up even further. In 2008, I went to the Puget Sound Guitar Workshop. Came back and said, "Wow, what a neat community," and I wanted to get something happening here. So that's what you mentioned earlier, the Song Circle, which is an online social networking thing that we tried to put together. And it was kind of like, that type of fire that blows up real big at the beginning and then fades out and drifts away for whatever reason. But I kept the idea going. And this past August, Tom Prasada Rao came to Park City. He was playing with Perla Battaglia. And he said, "Hey, can I do a house concert? You want to suck it up?" I said, "No, but how about a workshop?" So he did a workshop, and my friend Elizabeth Harza came to the workshop and was so blown away by it that she completely altered her schedule so the next week she could go to the song school in Lyons.
Oh, cool.
And we came back from that, and the two of us said, okay, we want to do this. So we started having song circles, and we've gone from the two of us back in August to having about 165, 170 people on our email list right now. And we have 2 gatherings a month, a week. Oh my God, isn't that crazy?
Every Thursday and Tuesdays.
Yeah. Will you come see me?
So obviously this is raising the quality of songwriting.
It's really cool,
part of the world, right?
And we call it cooperative competition.
Okay.
And I looked up that concept online the other day, and the person did a breakdown of competition, and the petition part came from the Latin word that loosely translated said to work together to advance each other's skills, to raise the level of performance.
Okay.
And the com part meaning together. So that's the way we look at it. We get together in these circles, and the whole idea is not to compete in any way, shape, or form, but to push each other and challenge each other and raise our level of the craft.
Well, if what you just played is an indication, it seems to be working. I mean, those are solid tunes. So are you recording anything, or what's your...
what's really interesting?
Where can we hear your music?
Where can you hear it? Well, I am getting some things on YouTube at last.
Okay.
So we're putting some things together, and I have to kick my daughter out of the studio at home because she's always in there.
Okay.
And I'm slowly getting at it. And my New Year's resolution this year was to get everything copyrighted and registered with ASCAP and move forward from there. So.
Okay. All right. So we can't hear your music anywhere? YouTube.
Okay. That's about
this will be on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah.
So check it out. Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by.
Thank you, Mark.
Just really appreciate it. What do you think, guys? Huh?
Thank you all.
Okay, so we're going to be right back with Bronwyn Beecher, everybody. So hang tight. Hey, welcome back to the Bistro, everybody. Hey, I want to say thanks to the guys in the booth, Scott and Nate, and all you wonderful camera people and floor guys and scroller, whatever your title is. Thank you. Appreciate your help and everything that you guys do. Check us out at, SLCCTV.com. This is coming from the Salt Lake Community College in Salt Lake City. So it's SLCCTV.com. You can see all of our videos there and get the scoop on the Brewin Bistro and who's coming up and that kind of stuff. And right now, look at you two.
I'm looking at him.
You just look fantastic. That's all. Hey, it's Bronwyn Beecher, and your name is Steve, is that correct? Keen. Steve Keen. Give him a hand, everybody. Take it away.
Et pour les enfants, la haine. Et pour les bêtes, et tu es un pour tous les deux, mes petits poussettes. Mon cher, et comme la panthère sauvage, mais irrésistible. Et moi et les autres du monde, nous sommes sur cette île. L'amour est pour les enfants, la haine est pour les bêtes, et tu es pour tous les deux, mes petits poussettes. Mon cher, et comme la panthère sauvage, mais irrésistible. Et moi et les enfants du monde, nous sommes sur cette île. Thank you very much. So, as you may have noticed, that song was written in French. My friend Emily Nelson wrote those lyrics, and I believe if you turn on your closed captioning and watch it again, you will find the English translation. This next one is one that was a commissioned piece. My partner did an art show at a gallery, and it was called Six Impossible Things from Alice in Wonderland. And she said, I need you to write a song called Six Impossible Things, and here's your lyric inspiration. And she handed me her journal. We had just started dating. So yeah, happy birthday to me. So that was, but disappointingly, there weren't any deep, dark secrets, only really awesome imagery. So this one is called Six Impossible Things, based on the lyrics of Daisy Johnson. And we've thrown in a Greek tune, because why wouldn't we do that? Yeah.
Seems to work.
We like to do a little everything. I think about that night all the time, in the stillness the shadows bring. I love the way you feel on my mind, amid the darkness of every day stings. How else do I keep myself busy, drinking coffee or plucking strings? I get up 3 hours before breakfast, just like the Wonderland Queen. Oh, I think of 6 impossible things. Drive a river fishing to a tree. 6 impossible things. Paint a picture with the melody of 6 impossible things. The Buddha meets the Cheshire Cat. 6 impossible. Eat 100 fried chickens without getting fat. So I became a midnight love thief in some messed up fasting cleanse. You can be sure there ain't no grief that can't be cured through a camera lens. Looked up through the looking glass window, my chin dripping with destiny. I remember feeling disappointed when all I saw was me. Oh, I think of 6 impossible things. Drive a river fishing to a tree. 6 impossible things. Paint a picture with a melody of 6 impossible things. The Buddha meets the Cheshire Cat. 6 impossible. Eat 100 fried chickens without getting fat. Thank you. I'm going to put down the fiddle for just a moment. Two moments. Start the timer for 2 moments now. Just kidding. So this is a song I wrote called Haunted. And it's kind of in a Latinese style. And it's about that moment when you have a big, ferocious change that happens in your life. And it's almost like you're haunted by yourself. And that's what this one is called. Cloudy gray is the sky. I tell myself, don't trust your face. ached, there's nothing left in me to cry, and so I am left to contemplate. I'm blue and faded, haunted, that's me, caught in the mirror. Save me from this uncertainty. Oh, what will I be? I had silver and gold welling up before I fell. I never tasted freedom except from the bottom of that well. It's a dirty descent down a hole full of shame. But every time I consent, I feel God in the rain. I'm blue and faded, haunted, that's me, caught in the mirror. Save me from this uncertainty. Oh, what will I be? Oh, haunted, I feel that swell of anger. Save me from this uncertainty. But what will be, will be. Da-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. My reflection is born, the sky is gray. Before the sun, how sweet and sharp was that thorn. Memory that came to stay till I was done. I'm blue and faded, that's me, caught in the mirror. Save me from this uncertainty. Oh, what will I be? Oh, haunted, I feel that swell of anger. Save me from this uncertainty. But what will be, will be. Thank you. So, any of you who have seen me play before may know that a lot of my inspiration for taking music from different cultural traditions comes from my father, who was a folk dancer, and he played guitar and sang very well, and he sang us to sleep in 5 different languages every night. So some of my favorites of his were his Mexican songs. He sang mariachi. And so anyway, this song had him in mind when I learned it. It's called La Llorona. It's a beautiful song. And when we were arranging it, I realized, well, okay, actually, when Linda Ronstadt and her Mexican recording came up on my Pandora, I heard it. I was like, oh, that's the rhythm my dad used to play. And so I looked it up, and it comes from a specific region in Mexico, the Caliente region, and it has a complementary rhythm that goes with it and everything. So I was really, really excited to get a little more authenticity into this song. So this is La Llorona.
En el negro llorona, negro pero cariñoso. Todos me dicen el negro llorona, negro pero cariñoso. Yo soy como él.
like a trailing off applause. That's what I like. I like to leave my audience with a sense of... Okay, so... So let's do some fiddling. Like, this is a little more Zydeco influenced. I wrote this song it's called Redemption. It's about redemption, but less in the biblical sense. It's more about giving yourself redemption. So absolving yourself of your sins. That's what this one's about. Point out I have a golden E string of gold. I changed out my strings and it said gold plated. It's very fancy. Oops, okay. You want to count it up?
No, you count it up.
Okay.
Be together.
I will then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Forgiveness for what I've done. My hello needs to be rehung. Hell, I need some redemption. I know that change has got to come. Better settle my debts before it can be done. Oh, forgiveness is what I got to get to be free. I don't need it from you, Lord knows I need it from me. My confession. Take me down to the riverside, 'cause I need some redemption. Where I am ain't where I've been. I had enough of regression. Oh, take me down to the riverside. Give me some redemption. Sins, heal my disease, give me inspiration, bring me to my knees, shine light upon these stormy seas, please, I need some redemption. I know that my time has come to move on to a bigger place and a better life at the brand new break of dawn. There's one last thing I know I got to do first, absolve myself of all my sins. Now here comes my revive. Oh, take me down to the riverside. I'll give you my confession. Take me down to the riverside, 'cause I need some redemption. Where I am ain't where I've been. I had enough of regression. Oh, take me down to the riverside. Give me some redemption. Give me a paddle, boy. We're moving through muddy waters. I'm gonna row my boat gently down the stream. And when that day shall come, no more the devil's daughter. All I ask is that you wake me from this dream. Down to the riverside, I'll give you my confession. Take me down to the riverside, 'cause I need some redemption. Where I am and where I've been, I had enough of regression. Oh, take me down to the riverside. Take me down to the riverside. Take me down to the riverside. And give me some redemption. Thank you.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Wow. What a show tonight. You know, the accordion just brings an interesting dimension to any song, and you do it so well.
Thank
it's
you.
Yeah,
We
thank
don't hear enough accordion.
We don't get to hear enough accordion.
You realize in the Salt Lake City Accordion Club, there are over 125 members.
I didn't know that. That sounds like a nightmare kind of a gathering. Sounds like there's a banjo
There's some
convention.
incredible players.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm sure there isn't.
I know there's an accordion joke there somewhere.
Well, Mark, the cool thing about accordion, as it pertains to the fiddle, that relationship is really cool because the traditional styles from around the world, there's almost no place, either of these instruments can go. So it really allows us to hit all those different traditional styles and pour them all together and mess around with them with the really authentic sounds.
Well, and you know, that's an interesting dimension, and you're an interesting dimension. I mean, that's interesting, and the cultural influences of your music. You know, I felt like I've just been on a worldwide kind of tour. That was awesome.
It's all the cool stuff that I've loved to hear over the years at concerts. You know, when they bust out that one like kind of groovy Middle Eastern-y kind of thing, and then they go back to their rock and roll. I'm like, I want a whole show of that.
Yeah, and I'm really with you on that. It just makes it interesting and stuff. You know, not lyrics, but melodies and rhythms we don't typically get to hear, especially at the bistro. It's awesome that you guys can come up. So tell us about your. This is your gig, so tell us about you and where can we hear your music. And your father sounds like an interesting fellow.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. He was a very surprising man. You know, he wouldn't tell you anything that he knew. He was very shy, kind of introverted type. And then all of a sudden, if you're me, you're canoeing on a canoe trip, and behind you, you hear this like canyon filled with yodeling.
Oh, I know how to yodel, by the way. Yeah, is that kind of a...
Spent a whole lot of my childhood going, Dad?
That's cool.
So, yeah, so it was a lot of diversity. We got to travel a lot as a family.
Did you grow up here in Utah?
I grew here.
So, okay. Right.
And moved around a lot. I went to school in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. I studied classical violin at Loyola University there. Okay. And I did some fair amount of street performing.
What a great place to learn music.
Right?
Just
any kind of music.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez.
And I would play my classical music on the street corner, and people would come by, particularly locals would come by and tip me for not playing jazz.
Okay. Wow.
Made a lot of money that way, so. And then I moved from there. I dropped out of school because of tendinitis, and then didn't know what to do with myself. So I moved to Ottawa, and then I moved to China, and then I moved back to Ottawa, and then here.
Okay, so you're here.
Like you do. Yeah.
Are you, you're pursuing your music, obviously?
I am.
Okay.
I'm a performing musician. I'm also a very passionate music teacher.
Oh, good.
So this is the stuff.
We need both.
Yeah. Two different skill sets.
Yeah.
Very different.
Absolutely.
Come-froms. What I love about what Steve and I are doing now, this is a somewhat new project for me, is that I'm doing it exactly the way I want to do it. I played for many years, with other bands from bluegrass to funk to you name it, Celtic, and tried to make my own singer-songwriting thing fit in one sound, because you're supposed to, right? You're supposed to have one recognizable sound that's you, that's everything you do. And I, like my diet over Christmas, I couldn't do it.
Okay.
And so,
was your diet over Christmas or after Christmas?
There's no diet. There's no diet, Mark.
Go ahead. Okay.
So I said, heck with it. I'm going to do, my brand is going to be everything. And then I started going crazy with the everything. And then with the addition of Steve on accordion, who's a phenomenal accordion player and a jazz pianist by training, we can do anything we want. And so we are, and just having a really, really fun time at it.
Don't you think, guys? I mean,
Thank
isn't
you.
that something, right? Well, hey, we appreciate everybody and all of the Brewin Bistro land. We appreciate you guys. Steve Kane and Bronwyn Beecher. Okay, we're going to be right back with our last call jam, everybody. Thanks, guys. Hey, it's been a great show. I really appreciate everybody coming out. Bronwyn Beecher and Steve Keen and Bill McGinnis. Hey. Scott Iverson, producer extraordinaire. Anyway, we're going to end the show with our famous song, The Last Call at the Bistro.
Oh, the last call has snuck up again. The candles burning low. The muses work your magic, don't you know you hate to go. Your friends have sung their stories, made you laugh and made you cry. But there's one more song to come this week before the last goodbye. Oh, Bistro, Bistro, you never know quite how it is to lose your memory. Your friends are here beside you, your lover's eyes are wide. And if that ain't your lover, well, then don't you keep your eyes. Oh, you drive your axe, you strap it on, you strum a simple chord. Your mind is running words again, the news won't be ignored. The microphone is in your face, you beckon to your friends. Come back me up, you know the songs are real low by the end. Hey! Bistro, Bistro, the players in the train. They never know how it is until you sing the refrain. Your friends are here beside you, your lover's eyes are wide. And if that ain't your lover, then don't be on the side. Join the muse in singing, soon you're swept away into a world of melody, and there you wanna stay. But the last note, now it's gone, you open up your eyes. Your heart's a drumming rhythm still, but then you realize they're on their feet, they're cheering loud, 'cause they were there with you. Your loving wings, the peace, now you know what to do. Sing! Bistro, Bistro, the players in the rain. You never know like how it is. And if that ain't your lover, soon you're bound to take a ride.
And if that ain't your lover, well, don't be hypnotized.
And if that ain't your lover, well, I guess
You're right. And if that ain't your lover, well, I think that might be your outside.
and if that ain't your lover, go get Kentucky Fried.
And if that ain't your lover, show the girl your manly pride.
And if that ain't your lover, well, forget the on the side.
And if that ain't your lover, soon you're bound to take a ride.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Do we have fun or what?